I came across this post on Facebook. New British-Moroccan undersea tunnel will connect Africa to Europe. Do we really need another tunnel indeed? And yes, of course, it's led by the British authorities, led by Boris Johnson, all paid for, courtesy of the British taxpayer. An underground tunnel from Morocco to the Strait of Gibraltar, connecting Europe to Africa. Is this really a good idea? Because we know that the mass invasion of Europe by illegals, many of whom come from Africa. Of course, it's going to attract, most likely it will attract another Calais-style camp of illegal immigrants in Morocco. What is Boris Johnson playing at? We voted for Brexit to close the borders, and what we've seen under his leadership since getting Brexit is taxi services. Border force, more like border farce. They are going out, meeting the French Navy, who are escorting these blow-up dinghies full of illegal immigrants, and border forces rescuing these people, bringing them back to England. And many we saw last summer, throughout lockdown, when the hotels were shut, these people were being housed in 4-star hotels. What the hell is happening to Britain? Amazingly, the Tories seem to have profited in the local elections, Tories winning seats, even in Labour strongholds. The mainstream media won't report on this, of course, so many of the electorate will not be aware of what really is happening. It's probably down. It will also be down to the Labour Party as well. I mean, let's face it, the Labour Party, they are even worse than Boris Johnson and the Tories. Christ, my word, Keir Starmer, the most boring politician in the world. One who hates the indigenous English people, hates our heritage, history, etc. He's all for going out bending the knee to criminals who are running around defacing statues, looting and attempting to burn cenotaphs with the Union flag. I'm going to have a brief read of the article that was attached. I will put the full article link in the description to this video. I'm not going to read all the article. I'm just going to read a few paragraphs of the article that has the information of this African Gibraltar tunnel going under the sea. The British authorities, led by Boris Johnson, is finding out the completion of an undersea tunnel linking Gibraltar to Tangiers. In partnership with the Moroccan authorities, London has severely launched into finding out the challenge that can hyperlink Europe to Africa, as commerce relations with Morocco are developed. Along with the partnership settlement signed in 2020, after Britain's exit from the European Union, Morocco and the UK see the Strait of Gibraltar, which is underneath British sovereignty, turning into the hub for a 28-kilometre tunnel that connects the two nations. The previous British ambassador to Rabat, Thomas Riley, mentioned in an interview with the newspaper Español, final August, that there are lots of alternatives for growing ties between Morocco and Gibraltar, in lots of areas that we must explore. The British-Moroccan challenge would change the Spanish-Moroccan challenge, which has been mentioned for greater than 40 years with non-tangible outcomes. An earlier Spanish experimental part started with the digging of a 600-metre underground crossing within the metropolis within the metropolis of Cadiz, south of Andalusia, and simply over 200 metres into Morocco. It was ended 2 years later because of the floods and upkeep issues. After Brexit, the British will start taking on the challenge and begin its improvement. The road will join Europe and Africa through the cities closest to the Rock of Gibraltar. I'm not going to read more of the article. If you want to read the full article, it's like I said, it's available in the video description. But what we can see from this, the agreement was signed in 2020 after Brexit. So Boris Johnson's version of Brexit quite clearly isn't close the borders. He's opened the borders to mass numbers of legal and illegal immigrants. Like I said earlier, the English Channel is just a taxi service. Border Farce, also known as Border Force, are just running out as a taxi service, collecting all the illegal immigrants coming across on dinghies and all sorts of other boats, which get escorted. They get escorted into the British government is allowing the French Navy escorting these little boats into English waters, then Border Force is going out and collecting them. Instead of putting the foot down, telling the French Navy, telling the French authorities, no, we are not having them. And when we do find you coming across with your Navy ships escorting these illegal immigrants, we are going to turn you back round to France. That is what they should be doing. But now we are seeing Boris Johnson's version of Brexit again. Now he wants a tunnel connecting Africa and Europe. I'm sure there'll be benefits to it, but we all know who else is going to be trying to go through this tunnel. We're going to see Calais-style camps in Morocco, and there is going to be illegal immigrants who are going to attempt to go through this tunnel. It's this tunnel idea, in my opinion, it's not a good idea, and it's clearly going to be abused, just like the Eurotunnel. And the Eurotunnel, we know from past experience, there's many illegal immigrants try going through the Eurotunnel. They are going to do the same, in my opinion. But in this, I think it said it's 28 kilometres, so this is a much shorter tunnel than the English Channel. The Eurotunnel's longer than this tunnel. It's a very small tunnel. It's a very small stretch between Gibraltar and Morocco. I think it's time for the people to be vocal. Please share this video, make people awake of what Boris Johnson's planning. And it's time now. It's no longer a two-party system, now it's a one-party system. And I'm not, just because it's the Labour Party and what the Labour Party stand for, I'm happy. I'd prefer it to be a one-party system than a two-party system. Ideally, I'd like... Ideally, I think it's time for new parties to come on the scene. Reform UK and the Reclaim Party, their new parties, I agree with a lot of things that them two parties are coming out and talking about. So I think it's time for people vocally tell this government we are not happy. We want the borders closed. We want an end to mass immigration, because that is what we voted for when we voted for Brexit. That is the main thing why people voted to leave the EU, was to close the borders. Our small nation is very much overpopulated. I believe there's only 15% of the English countryside that is left. It's not going to be long at the rate and the rise in population via mass immigration into this country. It will not be long before 15% of the English countryside turns into 0%. Please like, share and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.